Prison gang leader attacks new black inmate, he's an undefeated kung fu champion. Prison is a place where reputations are made in blood and fear travels faster than truth. Behind concrete walls and steel doors, power belongs to the ruthless, the loud, and the violent. New inmates quickly learn one rule: weakness is punished, silence is survival. But every once in a while, someone enters those gates who doesn't fit the script, someone whose calm hides a storm no one sees coming. This is the story of a man judged the moment he stepped off the transport bus. A quiet black inmate with no visible scars, no gang tattoos, and no entourage. To the predators watching from the shadows, he looked like easy prey. To the prison gang leader who ruled the yard with fear, he looked like a statement waiting to be made. What they didn't know, what no file, rumor, or whisper revealed, was that this man was undefeated. Not in street brawls. Not in bar fights. But in disciplined combat refined through years of pain, focus, and mastery. A kung fu champion trained not just to fight, but to endure. This is a story about underestimation. About pride. About what happens when brutality meets precision. And about the dangerous mistake of waking a dragon in a cage. Stay with us, because once the first punch is thrown, nothing inside these walls will ever be the same again. The prison bus hissed as its brakes locked, dust swirling around razor wire fences like ghosts that never found peace. One by one, inmates stepped off, chains clanking, eyes scanning for danger. Some walked tall, others hunched low. But when Malik Adeyemi stepped onto the cracked concrete, he did neither. He stood straight. Calm. Silent. His dark eyes took in the yard, not with fear, but with calculation. Towers. Guards. Inmates grouped by race, tattoos, and loyalty. He memorized angles, distances, exits. Old habits never died. Fresh fish, someone muttered. Malik heard it. He heard everything. At intake, the guards barely looked at him. 6'1". Lean, athletic, no visible tattoos. Convicted of aggravated assault. No gang affiliation. No disciplinary history. To them, he was another body to be counted. But from the upper tier of cell block D, Victor Grim Calderon was watching. Grim was the undisputed leader of La Sangre Negra, the most feared prison gang in Ironclad Penitentiary. He'd built his rule with broken bones and public beatings. Big. Scarred. Loud. A man who believed dominance had to be displayed regularly, or it disappeared. When Grim saw Malik, he smirked. That one won't last a week, he said. Malik's first night was quiet. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that meant something was coming. In his cell, Malik sat on the lower bunk, eyes closed, breathing slow and measured. He ignored the insults shouted down the tier. Ignored the threats scratched into metal. Instead, he moved through forms in his mind, stances, transitions, counters. His master's voice echoed softly in memory. Kung Fu is not for violence. It is for control. But when control is threatened, end it quickly. Morning came with the scream of a whistle. The yard was where reputations were tested. Malik walked alone, tray in hand, scanning for a seat. Conversations slowed as eyes followed him. A few inmates nudged each other. Bets were already being made. Then Grim stood up. He was flanked by 3 enforcers, muscle stacked on muscle. Grim stepped into Malik's path, blocking the bench. You lost, pretty boy. Grim asked loudly. The yard went silent. Malik looked at him. Calm. Respectful. Just trying to eat. Laughter erupted. Grim leaned closer, breath sour. This is my yard. You eat when I say. Malik paused. He could feel it, the familiar tightening in his core. The warning before violence. He lowered his tray slowly. I don't want trouble, Malik said. That was the wrong answer. Grim slapped the tray out of Malik's hands. Food scattered across the dirt. Too late. Before anyone could blink, Grim shoved Malik hard in the chest. Malik slid back a step, light on his feet, balance intact. The yard roared. Hit him. Teach him. Break him. Grim swung first. A wide, sloppy punch fueled by ego. Malik moved. Not fast. Precise. He pivoted, letting the punch miss by inches, and tapped Grim's elbow with 2 fingers. A nerve strike. Grim's arm went numb instantly. The smile vanished. What the? Malik followed with a short palm strike to the chest. Not hard. Just enough to disrupt breath. Grim stumbled back, coughing. Silence dropped like a hammer. Grim's enforcers rushed in. Bad idea. Malik shifted stances, low, grounded. One man lunged. Malik swept his leg clean, dropping him hard. Another swung a baton. Malik trapped the arm, twisted, and snapped the baton in half like dry wood. The third froze. No one had ever done this to Grim's men. Grim roared and charged, rage overtaking sense. This time, Malik didn't hold back. He stepped inside Grim's reach, delivering a flurry of short, devastating strikes, ribs, shoulder, throat pressure point, ending with a controlled elbow that sent Grim crashing to the ground. Grim lay there, gasping, humiliated. The guards stormed in, batons raised, alarms blaring. On the ground. Now. Malik immediately raised his hands and knelt. The yard buzzed with disbelief. As Malik was dragged away to solitary, inmates whispered his name for the first time. Who is that? That wasn't luck. That dude's different. From the dirt, Grim watched Malik disappear down the corridor, hatred burning in his eyes. This ain't over, Grim growled. And deep inside Ironclad Penitentiary, something had shifted. The dragon had revealed its shadow. Solitary confinement was colder than Malik expected. Not because of the concrete walls or the thin mattress, but because silence pressed against the mind like a weight. No shouts. No footsteps. Just the faint hum of electricity and the slow drip of water somewhere beyond the wall. Malik sat cross-legged on the floor, eyes closed, hands resting lightly on his knees. His breathing was steady, controlled. To anyone watching through the small reinforced window, he looked peaceful. Inside, he was preparing. He knew what he had done in the yard wasn't just self-defense. It was a declaration. In a place like Ironclad Penitentiary, humiliating a gang leader didn't end conflict, it invited war. And Victor, Grim, Calderon never forgave. 3 days later, Malik was released back into general population. The moment he stepped out, he felt it. Eyes tracking him. Conversation stopping. Whispers trailing behind him like smoke. Kung Fu dude. That's him. He dropped Grim. Malik didn't react. He walked with the same quiet confidence, shoulders relaxed, posture balanced. But now, inmates stepped aside instead of crowding him. Respect had replaced curiosity. Fear had replaced mockery. Grim, meanwhile, was recovering in the infirmary, his pride hurt worse than his ribs. He smashed a metal cup against the wall, face twisted with rage. He embarrassed me, Grim snarled to his lieutenant, Rico, a sharp-eyed man with knife scars along his jaw. In front of everyone. Rico nodded. Word is, he's trained. Not street stuff. Real discipline. I don't care if he's trained by monks or demons, Grim snapped. No one walks away from that. Set it up. Rico hesitated. Guards are watching him closely. Grim's eyes narrowed. Then we do it where they don't look. That night, Malik sensed it before it happened. The air in cell block D changed. Too quiet. Too still. When the lights dimmed for lockdown, Malik didn't lie down. He stood near the wall, listening. Footsteps. Multiple. Controlled. The cell door slid open. 3 men rushed in. The first swung a sharpened toothbrush. Malik stepped back, deflecting the wrist with a circular motion, snapping the improvised blade away. The second charged from behind. Malik dropped low, sweeping the legs out. Bone hit concrete with a sickening crack. The third hesitated. Bad move. Malik surged forward, delivering a short, explosive strike to the sternum. The man collapsed, wheezing. The entire attack lasted less than 10 seconds. Guards arrived late, as planned. Malik stood still, hands raised, surrounded by groaning bodies. You again, a guard muttered. Malik was sent to the hole, again. But this time, something unexpected happened. The warden requested him. Warden Elias Monroe was a tall, silver-haired man with eyes that missed nothing. He studied Malik across his desk. You ever consider fighting professionally? Monroe asked. Malik met his gaze. I did. What happened? Malik paused. Memories surfaced, sweat-soaked training halls, tournaments, trophies, a master who believed discipline could save anyone. I won too much, Malik said quietly. Monroe raised an eyebrow. I was undefeated. National circuits. International exhibitions. Then a sponsor wanted me to throw a match. I refused. They framed me. One bad night defending myself, and here I am. Monroe leaned back. You realize you've disrupted the balance here. I didn't come to rule, Malik said. I came to survive. Monroe nodded slowly. Then survive smart. Grimm's planning something bigger. Malik was escorted back with a warning, no more chances. The next day, Ironclad erupted. In the yard, a fight broke out between rival gangs. Guards rushed in one direction, exactly as Grimm planned. Malik felt the presence behind him. 8 men. Surrounding him. Grimm stepped forward, recovered but furious, holding a length of metal pipe. No guards, Grimm said, smiling. No rules. Malik exhaled slowly. Last chance, Malik said. Walk away. Grimm laughed. Kill him. They rushed him. What followed would be whispered about for years. Malik moved like flowing water, redirecting force, breaking rhythm. He used the environment, benches, walls, bodies. One attacker went down with a dislocated shoulder. Another collapsed from a precise strike to the thigh nerve. A third charged blindly and met a spinning elbow that dropped him instantly. Grimm swung the pipe wildly. Malik caught it mid-arc, twisting Grimm's wrist until the pipe clattered to the ground. He stepped in close, forehead inches from Grimm's. You fight with anger, Malik said calmly. That's why you lose. With a controlled but devastating sweep, Malik dropped Grimm to his knees. The yard froze. Malik could have ended it. Instead, he stepped back. I'm not your enemy, Malik said loudly. But I'm not your victim either. Guards stormed in seconds later. This time, the scene was clear. Grimm was taken away in restraints, his gang broken, leadership shattered. Days passed. No one challenged Malik again. Instead, inmates came to him quietly. Asked for advice. Discipline. Control. He taught breathing. Balance. Focus. Not to fight, but to endure. Even the guards treated him differently. Weeks later, Malik received news. An appeal. New evidence. A sponsor exposed. Charges reduced. On his release day, Malik stood at the gate as it slid open. The sun felt unreal on his skin. Warden Monroe met him one last time. "You changed this place," Monroe said. Malik shook his head. "No. I just reminded them who they could be." As Malik walked free, inmates watched from behind bars, silent, respectful. Inside ironclad penitentiary, legends were usually born from violence. But Malik's legend was different. He didn't conquer the cage. He mastered it. If you enjoyed this powerful story, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another inspiring, action-packed story like this one.